Well, coming up in this video, we're talking about mortgage trends for 2024. We can't predict the future, but if you could ask Bill at Cross Country, what would you change? What trends would you like to see in the upcoming year? Well, we'll find out what he'd say coming up. Welcome in. Glad to have you. Bill, I know 2024, we've already kind of had a couple of videos talking about what's to come potentially, some indications of what might be ahead, but I want to kind of take this from a different angle today and find out maybe what you would change. If there could be some trends that pop up and develop in 2024, if you could just pick, have it your way at Cross Country, what would they be? We're going to go through that today. It should be kind of fun, right? Let you kind of control the future, if you will.
Man, I wish that, well, maybe not. Who knows?
might be dangerous.
But it could be dangerous, right? But no, in all seriousness, it's a great exercise. I feel like interest rates coming down, right? That'd be the first thing. Not interest rates coming down to 3%, because if they came down to 3%, we would have the pandemonium that drove housing prices as high as they did in the short period of time that they did, which in the long term is not healthy, because let's face it, who's going to be able to afford these houses, right? But down into an equilibrium is what we're talking about. So, any rates between 4.5% and 5.5%, we feel like stimulates the market. It gets people excited. It gets the 3% person who's like, I'm not moving and paying 8%, but they would to pay 5% if the house checked all the boxes, right? So I feel like interest rates getting more in line with a happy equilibrium would be great in 2024.
I'm going to put you on the spot because, this is just an exercise. It's all for fun on this episode of the Smart Mortgage Show. If you could pick your ideal number, and I know you'd probably say, let's go back down to the 2s, right? That'd be great. But if so let's go ahead and straddle the line between dreams and a little bit of reality mixed in. So what would a number be that you'd love to see us hit for a mortgage rate in 2024?
So I think that the upper 4% range is probably, that would be a really good number, because I think that it would stimulate things to a degree where, the activities of new home purchases would go up pretty dramatically. You would definitely have a lot of people being excited with those numbers and seeing those payments in a place where they feel like it wouldn't be an issue to make them. Now, I don't know that we're going to get there in 2024, but that would be, 4.75, 4.99, somewhere in that area. That would be great.
Man, I jumped on that immediately. I know a lot of people would too. That would be very far off from where we were pre-COVID, right? I mean, we were right in kind of low 4s, mid 4s, right? So it would not be that much different than even 4 years ago.
Yeah, it wouldn't be. And I think our housing market was doing pretty good. Things were humming along. I think we just need to get back to that instead of these, drastic swings of the pendulum where we went all the way out to 2% and then we went to 8.5%, and we just kind of need to land in the middle here.
Yeah, that'd be nice. All right, talking about mortgage trends for 2024. If you have questions, log on, smartmortgageshow.com, or give Bill and the team at Cross Country Mortgage a call at 484-352-4151. Be happy to sit there and discuss whatever questions you might have and go through your goals for your next home purchase and what you want to accomplish from that end. All right, Bill, second trend you'd like to see. I know if rates were down, right, that means maybe inventory's up?
Yeah, so it kind of goes back to a point that we made where, look, if you're in your home and you have a 3% rate, you're probably not going to give that up for an 8% rate, but you would for a 5% rate. So if you're in a house and you're at 3% and you start looking around and you see that there's some things that you want, an extra bedroom, a pool, whatever it is that the house has to offer, location, closer to work, closer to family, at 5%, you'd be willing to make that move, which means that now that's going to be another house up on the market. So that's creating inventory. With rates so high, nobody wanted to go anywhere. The pain was too great to give up that 2.5%, 3% rate. But at 5%, we're going to see a different market. We're going to see more inventory for sure.
Yeah, I think it wouldn't take a whole lot, I think, to get people moving a little bit. And inventory, it's been A little bit down, but the markets are still healthy. But yeah, I think seeing that would be an opportunity to push people out, because yeah, there's that gap right now, right, where people are saying, well, I'm not sure I want to get out there and put my house out there on the market yet until I can get my house sold. There's not a lot of wriggle room there, right, if you're trying to use that money towards the next one. But this might push people a little bit more in that direction if the rates are down and they know that payment won't be much different for the new home potentially.
Yeah, and the other thing too, Ben, is we're going to have a situation where a lot of the people in these houses, they've got a good amount of equity to roll into the new house, right?
Sure.
So now
Yeah.
you take a look at the equity, you take a look at the reasonable interest rates that are in equilibrium with the market and with what people are earning these days, and I think that's going to move things to a much inventory is going to rise pretty significantly.
All right, Bill, one more trend here for 2024 that you'd like to see. And I know this is one that I think a lot of people would welcome as well, if you were correct on this. But we saw a lot of refinances in 2020, 2021. But the last year, I mean, I don't know how many you've done. Maybe you can count them on one hand how many people have even inquired about a refinance because of where rates have been. But that's a trend you'd love to see for the new year, right?
Yeah, we would, yeah. So we've done some refinancing. It might equate to 10% of our business, maybe 15%. Usually the number is larger. We're always focused on purchasing and helping people buy homes, but we also want to help people to restructure the debt into a lower rate and save money, right? So
Yeah.
the only people that are refining right now are the people that have to, because they need to consolidate debt, or there's a divorce, or somebody passed away and there's an estate and a family member wants to take it over. And so in those cases, they're few and far between. What we want to do is we want to just tell people that their rate's 7.5, and now we can get their rate down to 5.5, and they save $300 or $400 a month. Those are home runs for the homeowner, and we would love to see some of that business come back. And it's going to be dependent on the rates.
Yeah, it will absolutely be dependent on the rates. So hopefully you're right, Bill. But I know these are some trends that if you could have it your way in 2024, you would draw it up like this. So we'll actually see how the year unfolds. But as it does, remember that you can always rely on Cross Country Mortgage to help you out with any of your mortgage lending needs. If you have questions for Bill, want to begin that process as rates come down and you want to start inquiring about how much home you can afford, how much you should afford, you can always log on smartmortgageshow.com or give Cross Country a call. You can always do that at 484-352-4151. All right, Bill, it's a lot of fun kind of having this. I'm curious to look back maybe later in the year and seeing how close you were on some of these trends, but I know we're all pulling for you to be 100% correct.
Thank you, Ben. Yeah, we should definitely revisit this in June and see where we are.
Yeah, it would be a lot of fun to kind of see where we are even halfway through the year. You're right. So maybe we'll do that a little bit later on. So the best thing for you to do is subscribe to the channel. We'd appreciate your support there. Hit like on the video too if you haven't done that. We'll have more mortgage videos still to come. If you have questions for us, you can leave a comment or just get in touch with Bill directly. Again, smartmortgageshow.com. This program is for informational purposes only. Please consult a qualified professional before taking any action. Bill Litton is a loan advisor and regional president with Cross Country Mortgage, NMLS number 147060.